Hey there. How is everybody doing? Isaac here. Just wanted to post a little video here about update to my channel that you may see once you watch this video. I got rid of the Isaac the Noob Backwoodsman name. Decided it was time. Some people had been suggesting that I change that for some time now. Eric Hussein was a proponent of that. It's like he's like, I don't think you're a noob anymore at this point, and he's right to an extent. There are some things that I consider myself I need to accomplish before I would not be a noob backwoodsman anymore, but it could still happen, you know. But wanted to update the name. We're now Isaac's Knives and Knowledge because obviously do a lot of videos on knives and feel like I tend to throw in a good amount of knowledge into those videos as well. I like to put some sort of history or fun facts, trivia, that type of thing into my videos. Just I know I've only done 2 parts in it so far, but I started this series called Knives with a Story, and I know which knife I'm going to do next. And that I did a live video chat with RJ's Knives channel and some other fine gentlemen the other day. I shared it in my community feed if you want to check it out. But I talked about this knife in that live chat there. That the next part in Knives with a Story is going to be on. So keep an eye out for that. It's a great story. Heart wrenching a bit, ends in tragedy. Give you a heads up. But Isaac's Knives and Knowledge, here we are. Other stuff, man, I started watching a show on Netflix a few days back, I guess over the weekend maybe. It's a Bear Grylls show that's on Netflix, and it's interactive. I think it's called You versus Wild instead of his original Man versus Wild. You versus Wild. So you're like in the scene with Bear Grylls almost, and he kind of asks you for advice on what to do in this situation, in these different survival scenarios, we'll say, and you just select an option of what thing to choose on your remote, and Bear will do that option in the show, and sometimes it turns out fine, and sometimes not so good. Like there was an episode where he needed to find something to eat, and you had a choice between some sort of flower buds, and it was in a real mountainous terrain, and some eggs from a bird's nest. And we chose the eggs because, well, we eat a lot of eggs at our house, but we chose the eggs in the show, and Bear takes the eggs out of the nest, plops the whole thing into his mouth, it crunches up the shells and eats them and all that. It's like, oh wow, but it's Bear Grylls. He does that. He's been doing that for years. And in the episode, sorry for spoiler alert, he gets sick from the eggs, and your mission is over. But yeah, Bear Grylls, I loved him. When I was in college, used to watch Man versus Wild with my buddies, and was when it first came on and came into its heyday. It got real popular, and back then I wrote Bear Grylls a letter and asked him for an autograph, and he sent me this picture. It looks like he printed it off his computer. The Man versus Wild wasn't big enough at the time yet, I guess, to give him proper promo photos, but awesome that he sent me this all the way from the UK. You know, and he's just this huge celebrity. Maybe his star has waned a little bit, and I think in 2010 he came out with collaboration of knives with and other tools with Gerber, and some people just pissed all over them. 'Cause they were all made in China out of subpar steel, 7CR 17, I guess for the most part. It's not the greatest, but they wanted to make them affordable, so that's why they made them in China, and they wanted the masses, the Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart crowd, to have those products because Bear Grylls brought the outdoors and survival to the masses. And I remember when I first saw those, I was in a Dick's Sporting Goods at the time, and I was super impressed, like, whoa, Bear Grylls has all these knives now? And I bought like the teeniest, tiniest little pocket knife. It was like $10. I think I still have it somewhere. I might be in my stepson's bedroom. I gave it to him at one point. Hopefully it's in there. But also just got this. This is the Bear Grylls Ultimate Pro. The Pro model. This one is upgraded from the 7CR. So this is a 9CR19 MOV. It is the only knife that I know of that was made in that steel. I've seen a few knives made in 9CR18 MOV, but 19, I don't think I've seen any other ones. So if you know of any other ones, let me know. I'd like to check it out and see what people say of the quality of the steel in those knives. And this one is also different because this is a true full tang blade. The most popular version of his fixed blade knife was partially serrated in the 7CR. It was just called Bear Grylls Ultimate Knife, and mostly came partially serrated. I guess there was a plain edge version of that as well, but most of the ones I've ever seen were partial serrations. This Pro is only available in the plain edge, which I like, and this one has a finger choil, unlike the other ones. I can fit my finger in there just fine for those up close and personal cuts. I'm not the biggest fan of finger choils, but oh well. Very ergonomic handle, and there's a special carved out spot with the finish and filed down right here to strike the ferro rod, which comes with one right there in the sheath. It is extremely difficult to get out, in my opinion. I have to literally pry it to unhook it from this latch in there. If you have this knife and you know a trick to get that out easy, please let me know. But anyway, super glad that I have this knife in my hands now. I did want it kind of when I first got super into knives a few years back, 5 years now, and I actually messaged Gerber about some of their knives on Facebook. I asked them, hey Gerber, what's the difference between your strong arm and Prodigy knives? And they're like really similar, but with the strong arm you get that extra option with the sheath to be able to flip it and carry it sideways, scout carry, horizontal carry, whatever you want to call it. So that's what they said about that. And then I asked them about this Bear Grylls Ultimate Pro, and I said, how do they stack up against that? And they said, well, the strong arm and the Prodigy are both higher quality products than this. So there's that. Straight from the mouth of Gerber. And they did discontinue the Bear Grylls line not too long after that. I think Gerber took a lot of flack for the Bear Grylls products. It's kind of unfortunate. A lot of people don't like the black and orange either. I like more earth tony stuff and all that, but it is a survival knife. It's not a tactical knife. Perhaps, if you're in a survival situation, you need to be visible. So that's why it's orange. That's why it got that orange there. It also comes with this whistle on the end. It can get much louder than that, but they make louder whistles. One thing I do not like about this is the belt loop. It is extremely tight. I haven't put it on my belt yet, but it's super, super tight. But barely. It's not flexible at all. So I guess it won't like flop around on your belt. But anyways, thank you for checking out my channel here, and hope you like the new name. Be the same type of videos. No change there. Just a little rebrand, so to speak, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.